Greetings once again, friends. Another day out here in the black, and another story to cover. On today's episode of Stories from the Void, our OP sacrificed years of his life to help support his now wayward fiancée emotionally and financially to get herself through college. And through those years, our OP has now become tattered and broken. And despite all the lies and cheating, our OP is still trying to hang on to some glimmer of hope that he can somehow reconcile this failed relationship. Anyway, let's recount his story and see how everything unfolds. And hopefully the community can knock some sense into him. And you know, your favorite commander will also be dropping some tough love. The last thing we need is another beta on our hands. So let's begin. My 30M fiance, 32F, cheated on me while I was away for Christmas. Refuses to even try to reconcile. We have only been engaged for 7 months, together for 4 years. So many sacrifices. Losing dog. Cross-country move. What should I do? My 30M fiance, 32F, and I were dating for 4 years. We moved rather fast and have been through a ton of trauma together. I recently found out she cheated on me about 1.5 months ago when I was visiting my family over the holidays. She was the love of my life, the most beautiful, sexy and smart woman I've ever met. Some backstory. We met in medical school in the Midwest. Shortly after starting to date, her sister died by suicide, and I lost my whole medical career. I now have a career in politics. She asked me to move in only a few months after we started dating, and I said okay, right after her sister died. I supported her to help her heal for years, got her through medical school financially, emotionally, and helped her with her studies. We got through COVID together, lifted weights together almost every day, did all the things a couple does. I showered her with gifts, compliments, passion, and gave her all of me. The sex was glorious. Around the 2.5-year mark, around summer of 2021, she said she wanted to go on a break, and I begrudgingly agreed. It was either take the break or lose her, as long as she didn't sleep with anyone else. I know she has a lot of attention-seeking behavior, so I thought she may have just wanted some new attention. On her birthday in October of that year, while we were on a break, she told me she was going out with her girlfriends for the night. Something didn't sit right with me, so I looked through her messages on her computer and found that she had slept with the guy already earlier that week when I was out of town for work, and that the guy was picking her up again tonight. The man was a sugar daddy, which I didn't really understand because I paid for all of the bills and everything, so she didn't really need money. I couldn't believe my eyes, what the messages said, so I went to where she said she would be and waited. After about 30 minutes, the man she was cheating with, I don't care if we were on a break, was dropping her off after they had sex in a parking lot. I confronted the man and told him never to contact her again or I would let his wife know. Never heard from him again. I am ashamed of having to do that, but I needed to know and see it with my own eyes. Well, OP. I know technically this was a break, so you can't really falter, technically. But still, it's not a good look on you either, man. I can't understand though why you'd still have feelings. Because it was just a break for space, not a break for seeing other people. So I get it. After about a month, I forgave her for this, and our relationship seemed to be back on track. She seemed very remorseful. She said a major reason she was feeling like she was being
suffocated
and
needed space
was that she didn't know if I was serious about her because I had not proposed. I thought 2022 was a great year for us. In January, we got a dog together, a little perfect golden doodle. She paid for him, but I signed the papers. Her name tag says my last name. She is going to be graduating med school soon and matching into a residency program, so she had been bringing up being engaged almost on a weekly basis. She gave me an ultimatum of propose or she's out when she starts residency, which was across the country in California. I proposed in May on a beautiful trip. She accepted. I packed up our whole apartment and drove myself and our dog and cat across the country to California while she flew. Her program started just a few days after graduation. California has been hard on me. None of my community is here. None of my family is here. My job was still back in the Midwest, so I was working remotely and was home a lot. I would say I was at home maybe 85% of the time. I think this caused my fiancé some resentment. Fiancé worked very long hours. I was okay and willing to sacrifice all of this for our relationship. On the bright side, as well as continuing to all the bills, I think there should be a pay over there. As well as continuing to pay all the bills. Since she was getting paid now and the cost of living is much higher in Cali, we agreed to split bills. It meant that I could act as more of a caretaker due to her long work hours. I took care of the dog. I cooked all the meals, got the groceries, tracked all the finances. You know, all the regular, boring, everyday shit that people have to do in order to survive. Ah, so you became the housewife, I see. By late August, she had stopped wearing her ring to work. She said that it was due to patients harassing her because it was such a nice ring. I let this red flag go. She said that if I got her a similar silicone band ring, she would wear it, but I never did. Why? I'm not sure. Didn't seem like a priority. In retrospect, I should have. She still wore the ring on weekends when we would go out or if she went out to do something in public / with her friends. Well, OP, yeah, that was definitely a red flag, but given her line of work, it's understandable why you wouldn't think it was that big of a deal. I went home to visit my family for Christmas because she said she was working on Christmas after we spent Thanksgiving at home ourselves, and I made a feast for us while she worked the whole day. While I was away, she was acting strange, not picking up at night when I called, taking hours to text me back. I knew something was up. The night I got back, December 28th, D-Day, I confronted her about it and she admitted to cheating on me with someone she's met from work. They went on 3 dates. The first ended in a clothed lap dance that made the guy come, and the third ended with unprotected sex at his place. She told me she liked the sex and how rough he was with her, which surprised me because I'm also pretty rough, and I never knew there was an issue with our sex. I always got her off first. I called the AP, and he didn't even know I existed. She lied to him as well, saying she was single. He blocked her. To make matters worse, this was the day before we were supposed to sign a new year-long lease together, as our first 6-month lease was up. The landlords let her sign the lease herself. I stayed with friends for about 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, we talked and agreed to try couples therapy, although she did not know yet if she wanted to try to be in a relationship. After the first week of therapy, things seemed to be getting better. She invited me to move back in. We were having a lot of sex. I was buying a lot of furniture for the new place. She was no longer talking to the AP. Then, the Saturday after our first therapy session, she went out with her friends to a nightclub, which I was okay with. Her AP happened to be there by coincidence. There are not a lot of clubs in the area. She got to chatting with him and she says all they did was kiss. I know she got food with her friends at about 2:30 a.m. and arrived back home at around 4 a.m. Okay, OP, there's a clear pattern here being developed. You're starting to become the doormat, man. Don't make it so. After this, she did a complete 180. Completely stopped trying to reconcile at all. Continued talking to the AP and straight up told me she doesn't want to be in a relationship anymore. I called the AP again and told him if he didn't back off, there would be problems. He said that she lied to him again and blocked her. She then went on a trip with her family and got back home yesterday. We sat and talked, and she said she was
no longer sexually attracted to you since around August.
Which was just 3 months after getting engaged and barely 2 months after uprooting my life and moving to California. I am so blindsided by this. We're both very fit and attractive, but I know the AP was taller than me. My fiance and I were about the same height at 5'10". She was maybe 5'10 and a half. She also said she was feeling
smothered and caged up
because of how often I was home and because I wasn't working a traditional 9 to 5. Even though I still make more money than she does, LOL. We were both well educated. I asked her why she didn't just talk to me about this then, so we could try to fix the relationship and figure out why she was feeling this way. She told me no, and that she just wants to be by herself and date around. I told her that she was making a mistake and I wasn't going to wait to be a second option. Well, in this humble commander's opinion, OP, you kind of have been doing that already. It's time to get your head out of your ass. I know I simply have to pack up and move back home to the Midwest, but man, does this feel final. Not only am I losing my person, my best friend who I sacrificed everything for. You damn right, OP, you certainly did sacrifice a hell of a lot for this lady. I'm also losing our dog, who I love so much, and is very attached to both of us. She paid for him, but I was the primary caregiver. My sister says I shouldn't fight for the dog because it would just remind me of my fiance. She's probably right. I'd have to agree with your sister, sir. I don't understand how someone can change their mind about loving someone so quickly. She was the one that pushed me to propose. She was the one that pushed to originally move in. She was the one that pushed for me to move with her to California. We were just talking about having kids and buying a house together this past November. I feel so used and betrayed. I sacrificed so much for 4 years, and she can't sacrifice 1 month to try and give reconciliation a shot to even see if mending things is possible. Was our engagement so much of a lie that I'm not worth even trying for? It's not fair. I freaking hate this. I can't sleep. I can't eat. And I don't know how to move on. Our anniversary would be on Valentine's Day. Any advice would be appreciated. Well, OP, let me be the first to say, stop wallowing in your self-pity over there. I'm sure it must be hard letting go after so many years of sacrificing and giving for this woman, but obviously, it seems like all she's seen you for was a free ride. Granted, I'm sure it wasn't like that from the very beginning, but apparently over time, she felt like that she could do better. And soon enough, she will learn that she lost something really good. And by the looks of her behavior, on track to be a crazy cat lady down the line, but I'm sure the community will have a lot to say. So let's check it out. From Opposite Hot 5837. You need to get away. This person is dangerous. And with all you have invested and sacrificed, there is nothing to save here. You have rug swept once. She has told you, clearly, she does not want counseling or reconciliation. This is the mind fucked, the disordered do. These freaks are never satisfied and not only tell the lie, they live the lie. Make a plan for an exit. This is destroying stuff, but schedule an STI test and tell everyone about her infidelity when asked. Do not protect this person from her behavior. The OP responds, do you think I should fight for the dog? Tough Republic 3560 responds, why even ask when she goes to skank around? Grab the dog, your stuff, and go back home. You're still caring about this woman's feelings and it needs to stop. If the dog's papers are in your name, it's your dog. Hell, she probably won't even know you're gone, considering how little she thinks of you. Christina Keller, this is what I was thinking. She's gone all the time and can't properly care for the dog. Let her feel the full impact of your absence. While OP, as far as this commander is concerned, I'm more in agreement with your sister than the last two replies from the community. The dog is a reminder of her, and you need to put her in the rear view, man. Red Crane lives. Sounds like your GF used you to pay bills and take care of things. Now she's about done with med school. She doesn't need you anymore. You were her rock, but now she thinks she can do better. Run from this person. She doesn't sound like she ever really cared about you. Only herself and what you could do for her. 100% agreement with Red Crane here. You're just a stepping stone apparently, man. She wanted her cake and she's eating it now. And these new cakes she's eating is a bunch of dicks. The OP responds, yes, I see now that I was used and too stupid to see it. Do you think I should fight for the dog? Oh my god, man, come on. I know you love the dog, but you gotta let it go, just like this lady. Proformed over. She didn't change her mind quickly. This has been a long process in which you walked around, stepped over, and ignored a ton of red flags. She is and has always been a serial cheater. She will only get worse after she finishes her residency. She is a serial cheating doctor with emotional and mental issues. It's hard to see it now, but this is the best thing that could have happened to you. You will not be around to see the train wreck that her life will become. Spot on, Proformed over. As I said, crazy cat lady coming up. For future reference, there is no such thing as a break in a committed relationship. You either are all in or you are out. When someone says they want to go on a break, you'd best end it there because they already have someone picked out. Every time. Pack up, forget the dog, and forget her. You will be fine. It will suck for a while. Don't pain shop by stalking her SM. Block her everywhere on every device. Block the goddamn dog. Biscuit Brown, this is the correct answer. And I think that might have been the tough love the OP needed. He replies, thank you for this. Oh look, it's update time. Update, my 30M, fiance 32F, cheated on me while I was away for Christmas. Should I text her new boy toys? By the sound of this title, I'm not liking it already. Should have moved on, man. Let's see what he has to say. Update from my last post can be found here. A lot has happened in the past week. Currently, I'm on a road trip on my way back to the Midwest and should be back tomorrow. I left the dog. Good job, OP. Her original AP blocked her, but she now has multiple new men she is sexting / having sex with. I am considering texting them to expose her and warn them. This has been the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Oh hell no. Don't do it, OP. You texting them is only gonna make you look like the crazy over here. You are supposed to be moving on, man. My ex-fiancée returned home from the cruise with her family on 2/12. She had told me that she wouldn't be back until 2/16, so I had originally planned to leave our home on 2/17. Upon returning home, she made a huge fuss about me getting out ASAP. I attributed this to her wanting to go out on dates during this week as she won't have time in the next month due to starting a new clinical rotation. I held my ground and told her I'll be leaving around the 16th, as moving across the country is hard and I needed some time to finish packing and renting a car to make the trip in. Not that she would know. I'm the one that moved us out to CA 7 months ago, and all she had to do was hop on a plane. A few things, nasty things, came out this week. She told me she never had a
spark
with me in the 4 years we were together. I can't believe this, as we were always very passionate, and I'm a good-looking man. She said she thought of me as more of a best friend and support. Oh yeah, support. All kinds of support. And that after her sister died, it confused her feelings for me. At this point, she said she didn't know if she ever truly loved me in the 4 years we were together. Yeah, of course now she never really knew. Now that her bills are paid, she went through school, she has no debt. Even though she had previously begged me to propose to her. She also told me that the previous couple of times we had slept together, she was thinking about her AP instead of me. I was then able to move my move-out date up one day to 2/15 as I wanted out ASAP. She went on dates on Monday and Tuesday, Valentine's Day / our anniversary. She admitted she did this to rub the whole thing in my face. I'm not proud of doing this, and I know I need to seek out help for it, but I did not know what to think at this point. I didn't know what a lie was and what was the truth, so I snooped through her messages one last time and saw a bunch of things I wish I didn't. Damn OP, why do you put yourself through all this torture, man? Since her original AP blocked her for lying to him about me, she downloaded Hinge and was talking to, sexting, and planning dates with no less than 7 men. Some she was just talking to, some she was trying to finesse out of trips, but 2 or 3 she was having serious sexting sessions with. There is no doubt in my mind that if her AP wouldn't have blocked her, she would still be talking to him. But because he did, and she needs attention and can't be alone, so much for her BS about wanting to work on herself alone because she goes from one relationship to another, she found new men to give her attention. There was one guy in particular, let's call him K. She seems most serious about this guy. She told him a half-truth about our breakup, saying that we broke up
last year.
It was December 28th, and did not say it was because she cheated. She did say to him the things she said to me about thinking of me as more of a best friend currently, and then sexting started. Lots of videos / pics / fantasies traded. Very graphic. Her and I would sext a lot. It's something she likes to do. Some of the fantasies she told him are things she never mentioned to me she was interested in. Sex date, threesome, etc. She told him she wasn't talking to any other men even though she is. She went out with Kay on Tuesday and they got to second base. Before I left, I found they had made plans to see each other on Thursday for a Netflix and chill session. Today, Friday, for dinner, and Saturday for a gym session. The sext included a lot about BJs and a few things about unprotected sex, so I can only assume they are literally having sex together as I type this out. I left Wednesday. We said goodbye to each other and both cried. She said she was sorry for hurting me and said she loved me. She said maybe this is
see you later
instead of
goodbye.
It was an okay goodbye. I took down Kay's number and the numbers of the other guys she was now talking to. I'm considering texting all of them to expose her lies, her cheating, and warn them about wrapping it up. Truthfully, I want her to hurt and be embarrassed. And part of me also doesn't want these guys to be interested in her. I almost sent Kay a message Tuesday night before their date, but my sister talked me out of it, saying it makes me seem like a crazy person. Damn OP, your sister is full of wisdom. I suggest you keep listening to her. Admittedly, I am acting crazy right now. And outs me snooping her messages. If I were to text him, Tuesday would have been the best night to do it considering they have already and are currently being sexually physical. Tonight would still be a good day to text him as over at the house now. I would bet all the money I have that Kay will be her BF in the next month. But I know we are not together anymore. Yes, OP, you aren't. Build a bridge and get over it. And that she is these new guys' problem now. So I haven't sent any messages yet. It just hurts so much that she has already moved on to a new sexual relationship so soon after I left. I do not know how to let go. This is eating up so much. OP, can you hear yourself? She has already moved on to a new sexual relationship so soon after you leave. She was engaging in sexual relationships while you were there. So why would you think that this would be such a problem for her? Come on, man.
Come on, man.
I still love her, even with all this pain and disgust of her current behavior. I don't know why, but I still do. I feel sick when I think of Kay's hands on her. I currently have her blocked from everything but could easily text the men if I decide to. What do y'all think? Well, your favorite commander here thinks that this is a move, strongly advises against it. And let's hear what the community has to say. I have a feeling that they agree. Alana advice. You still love her? Wow. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, can you? I feel sorry for you. You don't seem to know your own self-worth. One check for agreement, basic quantity 9430. Many people that have been cheated on cling to the good parts about the wayward spouse and ignore the cold callousness until events drill that reality into their heads. A bit of a nicer reply from basic quantity 9430, but yet another check mark in the agree category. From consistent ad 5709. She sounds toxic. Stop torturing yourself. FTC1234. Reading this post made me cringe so hard. How can one suffer through so much and not have a clue as to what's going on? Check and check. Consistent ad 5709. I agree. Sometimes we don't know or think we deserve better than what we get. And here's our friend once again, Proform Dover. 2 cardinal rules of dating for men are: 1. Never get involved with a woman whose problems are worse than your own. And 2. Never stick your dick in crazy. You broke them both. Now put the crazy bitch in your rear view mirror and don't look back. Another solid reply by Proform Dover, laying the smackdown. JNR481. This post needs more upvotes. Totally agree. Don't try to be Superman and save her. You can't. Very good replies, all straight to the point. And how about one final comment? From Skekso Ursu. Okay, I'm glad you posted again because I've been wondering how you are. I'm glad you decided to leave the dog, and you've done the best thing you could possibly do by getting the heck out of there. There's no good that will come out of you texting the guys. They won't care at all. It will only make you look like a crazy ex-boyfriend. Your next best move is to settle in somewhere and find a place you can start over and find yourself again. It'll be good to be back home with your family. I think you're tired and need some good rest. Moving is so fucking stressful and you've got to break up on top of it. Treat yourself with care and love these next few months. It's not easy to go through this all, but I promise you, that you'll soon look back on this and be so glad you left when you did. It just takes time. I hope you make it home safe and the cat is okay. Wow, what a story. Well, OP, even though you were a doormat for the majority of this story, I, for one, am very happy that you decided to get the hell out of there and start over again. You're still young. Lots of time left. You go and find someone that knows your worth. You definitely will make a good husband. You're a hard worker. And you're very supportive. Just try and see those red flags when they pop up and address them very quickly. And also, learn to not take so much shit going forward. It will definitely help you down the line. All right, good people. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. And a very, very special thanks to Mrs. Booskaboo for helping with today's video. I'll be coming up on a cargo run soon. Should make things a little interesting. Anyway, I hope to see you again, friends. CB, signing off. 07.